Can I ask you something?
Sure, what's up?
There's someone at work. Every time I talk to him, I leave the conversation feeling terrible. He interrupts me. He dismisses my ideas. He makes little comments that sound polite but feel like insults.
How long has this been going on?
About 6 months. And every time, I either say nothing or I say something I regret later.
Okay, this is exactly what we're talking about today.
Good, because I really need help with this one. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Real English Talk. I'm Tom.
And I'm Jessica. Today we're talking about something that almost everyone deals with: difficult people. How to handle them, what to say, and most importantly, how to keep your power in those conversations. Stay with us, subscribe to Real English Talk, and let's get into it.
So let's start with the question. Why are some people just so difficult?
That's actually a really important question, because how you answer it changes everything about how you respond to them.
What do you mean?
Most people think that person is difficult because they're mean, because they want to hurt me. But that's rarely the real reason.
What is the real reason?
Usually, fear, insecurity, a feeling of not being heard. A trial lawyer named Jefferson Fisher talks about this. He says difficult behavior is often a bid for connection. The person wants to feel understood, but they don't know how to ask for that in a healthy way.
So when someone is rude to me, it might actually be about them, not me.
Exactly. Their behavior reflects their inner world, not your value.
That actually makes me feel a little better about my colleague.
Good, because when you stop taking it personally, you stop reacting emotionally, and that's when you have real power in the situation.
Power. That's an interesting word to use here. I never thought of conversations as something where you have power or lose power.
Most people don't, but think about it this way. When someone is rude and you react with anger, who controls the conversation?
They do, because they made me react.
Right, but when you stay calm and choose your response carefully, you control the conversation. That's power. And it starts with understanding why they behave that way.
So step 1 is change how I see them. They're not attacking me. They're struggling with something inside themselves.
That one shift changes everything. Let's talk about what to actually do next. Listeners, do you have a difficult person in your life right now? How does it make you feel? Tell us in the comments. Okay, let's talk about tools, real things you can do in the moment. The first one is silence.
Silence. Just saying nothing?
Yes, when someone says something rude or disrespectful, don't react immediately, just pause. Stay quiet for a few seconds.
That feels uncomfortable, though. Like I need to say something.
It feels uncomfortable for you, but it feels much more uncomfortable for them. They said something rude. They expected a reaction, and instead, nothing. Just quiet. That silence creates distance between their comment and your response.
And that distance gives me time to think before I speak.
Exactly. You stop the automatic reaction, and you choose your response instead. That's control.
What's the second tool?
Slowing down. If someone is speaking fast, loudly, aggressively, do the opposite. Speak slowly. Speak quietly. Lower your voice instead of raising it.
That seems counterintuitive. If they're loud, I want to be louder.
I know, but here's what happens. When you speak slowly and quietly, they have to stop shouting to hear you. They naturally lower their own volume to match yours. You set the tone, not them.
So I control the temperature of the conversation just by controlling my own voice.
Exactly. And there's one more physical thing, your breath. Before you respond, take one slow breath. Fisher calls it a conversational breath. It stops your body from going into panic mode. It stops you from saying something you'll regret.
One breath. That's it?
One breath changes everything. It's not about being weak, it's about being in control of yourself before you try to control the situation.
I'm going to try this with my colleague. Silence first, then one slow breath. Then speak slowly.
That's the formula. Simple, but very effective.
Okay, now let's talk about words. What do you actually say? Because sometimes silence isn't enough. You need to respond.
Right, and having the right phrases ready makes a huge difference. Let's go through some specific situations.
First, what if someone tries to make me doubt my own memory? Like they say, "That's not what happened," or "You're imagining things."
Sometimes people try to make you doubt your own memory. They say things like, "That never happened," or "You're imagining things." It's a way of making you feel confused about what's real. And the best response is simple and calm. You say, "I remember things differently," or "I see things differently."
I like that. It doesn't start an argument. It just states where I stand.
Exactly. You don't need to convince them. You just need to stay true to yourself.
Okay, what about petty arguments? Like when someone wants to argue about something completely unnecessary.
Ask this question. Is this something we have to agree on right now? That one question stops the argument before it starts. It makes both people think, is this worth our time?
That's such a smart question. Because usually the answer is, no, we don't have to agree on this.
Exactly. And if the answer is yes, then you can have a calm, focused conversation, not an emotional fight.
What about disrespect? If someone says something that's clearly not okay,
Say, "That's below my standard for a response." Clear, calm, not aggressive, but firm. You're saying, "I won't engage with that level of behavior."
and if someone makes a comment that feels like an insult but is wrapped in politeness,
Ask a question about their intention, like, "Did you mean for that to sound rude?" Or, "Did you say that to hurt me?"
that's bold. But it makes sense. You're not attacking back. You're just asking them to look at what they said.
And you say it calmly, no anger in your voice, just genuine curiosity. That makes it even more powerful. Okay, part 4. This one is about protecting your energy, because some people are exhausting, and if you engage with every difficult person at full energy, you'll run out very quickly.
That sounds exactly like my situation. After every conversation with this colleague, I feel drained for the rest of the day.
That's a sign that he's taking your energy, and that needs to stop. Fisher says something really important here. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to.
You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. I love that.
Think of conflict like a party invitation. Just because someone sends you an invitation doesn't mean you have to go. You can choose not to engage.
So sometimes the best response is no response at all.
Exactly. And for people who are very toxic, very negative, very draining, the best strategy is to stay neutral. Don't give them anything to feed on.
What does staying neutral actually look like?
Short, boring responses. Noted. I understand. Got it. Nothing emotional, nothing that invites more conversation. You're just acknowledging and moving on.
That's actually genius. Most of what he wants is a reaction. If I give him nothing, he has nothing.
Exactly. And Fisher says something else that I love. Confidence is very quiet. Insecurity is loud.
Confidence is very quiet. Insecurity is loud. So, when someone is being very loud and aggressive, they're actually showing insecurity.
Most of the time, yes. And you, by staying quiet and calm, are actually showing more strength than they are.
I never thought about it that way before. My silence isn't weakness. It's actually the stronger position.
Exactly. And that brings us to the last and most important idea of the whole episode.
What's the big final idea?
This: you cannot control how other people behave, but you can always control how you respond. Always. That's your power, and nobody can take it away from you.
So even if my colleague never changes, I can still change how I experience those conversations.
Exactly. You can't control him, but you can control yourself, and that changes everything.
There's always a moment between what someone says and how I react. And in that moment, I have a choice.
That's it. That's the whole message. That moment, even if it's just 1 second, is where your power lives.
I've been giving that power away for 6 months. Every time he says something and I react badly, I'm choosing to give my power away.
And now you know that. So, next time, you have a choice. Silence, a slow breath, a calm phrase, or just noted and walk away.
That actually makes me feel better. Not because he'll change, but because I don't need him to change. I just need to change how I respond.
That's growth, real growth, and that's what this whole episode is about.
Vocabulary review time. 10 words. Ready?
Ready. First, difficult, hard to deal with. Some people are difficult, but their behavior reflects their own struggles.
Silence. Saying nothing. A pause. Silence is powerful. It gives you time and makes the other person uncomfortable.
Control. The ability to manage yourself. Taking a breath before you speak gives you control over your words.
Respond. To react in a chosen, thoughtful way. There is always a moment where you choose how to respond.
Confidence. A quiet, strong belief in yourself. Confidence is quiet, insecurity is loud.
Boundary. A clear limit about what is acceptable. Setting a boundary means being clear, not being rude.
Calm, peaceful, and in control. Staying calm is the most powerful thing you can do.
Intention. The reason behind what someone says or does. Ask about their intention. It makes them think about their own behavior.
Neutral, not showing strong feelings. With toxic people, stay neutral. Give them nothing to feed on.
And power. The ability to choose your response. You always have the power to choose how you respond. Nobody can take that away.
10 words. All useful for real conversations about real situations. Keep them and use them.
And the message from today? You cannot control difficult people, but you can always control yourself. Silence. Slow breath. Calm phrases. Neutral responses. That's your toolkit.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Real English Talk and give us a like. Share it with someone who has a difficult person in their life. They might really need to hear this today.
Tell us in the comments, which phrase are you going to try first? We read every single one. Until next week, I'm Tom.
And I'm Jessica. Stay calm, stay powerful, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.